Want to take a look at this item that I recently bought off of Amazon. It is from Decade. It's called their mini tripod base, and I paid $39.99. This is a very stout piece of aluminum. It is made from 6061 aircraft grade aluminum. The specs on the website says 10 millimeters thick by 8.7 by 5 inches, and all the corners are nicely, they're all smooth, no sharp corners. As would be expected, it says that this will hold up to 300 pounds. It's got a nice finish to it. It's got two rubberized strips. And it's got a carry handle on either side here. Also, it has these two slots in which they supply a strap, Velcro strap, for attachment to something round or to anything that you want to anchor it down to. They also include this small bag with a tie string should you want to use it for protection. It comes in this very simple box. Now the purpose of this is to have a very low profile or a tripod base that you could set somewhere. So if you're at a place that does not allow large tripods, you could carry something like this, put a ball head on it from something as small as this to a larger ball head, and you have yourself a rock solid system in which to place your camera and have it stable. All the holes that you see on this plate are drilled and tapped. We have quarter 20s here, here, and here. We have 3/8 here, 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 and here. And lastly, we have M8 by 1.25 here, 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 and here. For attachment purposes to this plate, on the left side you have 3/8, and on the right you have quarter 20. This is what is supplied with this plate, and they are metric. They are the M8 by 1.25 inch pitch, and these act as your feet that would then go into the M8 holes, the 8mm holes that I showed earlier. So here's a close-up. It's got aluminum heads on them, aluminum locking nut, stainless steel threaded portion. One side you have a rubberized surface, and on the other side there is your spike. And then you could turn this on. You could either have this go in this way through the plate so that the spike is at the bottom, or the rubber foot. And one thing I want to point out, this is the only one that the rubber is cut flat. The only one, as you can see here. Here we take a look at one, and you can see how it's not flat at all. It's cut on a taper. Here we have another one. And the third one out of the four, have no idea why they're like that. So I had several thoughts of doing something a little bit different. So I ended up buying these machine screw panhead Phillips in the M8 by 1.25 as a substitute for what is supplied by Decade. Now these are 50 millimeters long, and one thing I did do to the ends, you can probably see how the surface looks, is I took them on a wire wheel. Right there you can kind of see how I took them on a wire wheel to smooth this up and take off if there were to be any burrs. There was nothing sharp on it, but I just wanted to make the ends very, very smooth. So again, on a wire wheel, on a grinder, did that to 3 of them. Just 3, not 4. So you ask, why 3 and not 4? Well, we all know that a tripod is self-leveling. And here you see that each one of these bolts are at different heights. So if you're setting on something and you want to, for whatever reason, level it up, by the way, it does have a small level there. If you had 4 to contend with, one here and here, here and here, it'd be, I don't know, in my opinion, you could do it, but I'd rather have 3 that you see right here. So let's take a look at this. If we wanted to bring this leg up, it's just a simple matter of turning this like that, bringing it up. If we wanted to bring up that rear leg, all we got to do is just turn this like this, and we can go beyond if we want to tweak it and go even higher. And if we want to bring this side down, so as you can see, 3 is so much better in my opinion than 4. Even if I was going to use these as supplied by Decade, I'd still only use 3 of them. You get 4 of these rubber, I guess they want you to use these as feet on the spiked ends, and they appear to me to be almost useless. If we take a close-up look, here you have a flat end, here you have an opening. What these amount to are plugs for holes. You'll see that undercut there in the center. So what these really are used for is if you've got a hole in a box, or in a piece of metal, whatever, and you want to plug that hole, you would take this and push it in this way, and the undercut, you'd squeeze this in. The inner diameter of that undercut then would hold that in the hole that you wanted to plug. And it appears to me that they're using this as feet. So if this is what they want you to do, they don't stay on there very well at all. I mean, you kind of push them on, and then you've got the point here. Can't go too far with it or you'll pierce it. So as far as I'm concerned, their attempt to make that as a feet, you can see that where the point is sticking out there, doesn't even want to stay on. So this is a major fail, this part of it. Not a big deal to me, but if that's what they want you to do, it's not a very good idea. So after further using this, I came up with what I thought would be even a better idea than using these panhead Phillips bolts. As you recall, I said that this contained tapped holes for 3/8/16. Okay, one of them being right here. So what I did is I got 3 3/8 by 2" long stainless steel socket head cap bolts. Now to finish off that threaded end, I use 3/8 stainless steel acorn nuts. As to the threaded length of the original supplied 8mm versus the 3/8 that I'm going to use, the thread length is the same. When you put on the acorn nut, you do lose threaded length, but I don't see that as an issue for me. For the rear, I ended up using 1.5" versus a 2" for the front. Now I've got this right now flush with the bottom surface. I dare say most of the time this is the way I'll use it. If for some reason I need to make any adjustments, I've got stability right here because it's a tripod, right? And then I can just tweak whatever one I want. The reason I say that is because once you put your ball head on here, your ball head's going to do most of your adjusting. So there you have it, with the ball head attached using the 3/8 stud that they give you. You have a stable platform in which you can put your camera on. You could put this anywhere on the ground, on a table, chair, anything that would give you a good surface to set this on, and you now have a very highly portable, stable system. And if you're doing shooting low on the ground, this gets you right down close if that's what you would need. So I don't lose the 1/4-20 stud that they give you. I just screwed it right into a 1/4-20 hole, and that way it's there and not lost if I need it. And with the bolts in here, you can still use the handhold. Now I decided for the heck of it to offset the one instead of putting it over here. I just stuck it there. Obviously I can always change it back to here, but I thought I'd just leave it like that for now. Alright, I want to point out that if you are using a large camera and you're tipping it too far side one way or the other, you may need to go with 4 bolts. 2 in the front and 2 in the back. But I just want to point that out. So, from what I'll be doing, the camera's going to be pretty much, as you see here, horizontal with the base. But if need be, and I do find myself in a situation where I have to go too far one way or the other, it's not a big deal. I'll just put a 3/8 here and a 3/8 over there, and then I'll have my 4-point stability so that if I need to tip it. But at some point you can't tip it too far either, because this base is only so wide. So you're limited on your side-to-side motion, because once you start to offset too far, you're going to tip no matter what. So you can only go a little bit side to side with this.